General Gage decides that he should go and seize the largest war stores he knows about in Concord, west of Boston. Paul Revere receives a lot of intel that the British are going to go on a march.
But what of Samuel Adams and Hancock?
Bring me Adams and Hancock alive, Major.
Ready in the boat.
While the British Army begins an overnight march toward Concord, Paul Revere slips out of Boston to warn Sam Adams and John Hancock of the danger and raise the local militias.
Paul Revere is summoned by Dr. Joseph Warren. He's given his message to alert Hancock and Adams in Lexington that the British are definitely going to be marching that night. And then Revere has to sneak out of the city where he gets a horse and then rides to Lexington.
How many are there?
Nearly 1,000 regulars and Marines, just hours away.
They aim to start a war. They mean to put our heads in nooses. Right to Concord. If our militia has any chance of meeting this invasion, not a moment to lose.
The regulars are coming out! The regulars are coming out! What'd you say? Grab your musket if you be a patriot, man! The regulars are on the march! The regulars are coming out! The regulars are coming out!
Despite the popular poem by Longfellow, Paul Revere is not alone on his midnight ride. Joseph Warren enlists militiaman Patrick Dawes and 3 others to join Revere, with orders to commission more riders along the way. The decision ensures the message gets out, while the warning does make it all the way to Concord. Near Lexington, Paul Revere's journey takes an unexpected and often untold turn.
Oh, damn you or you're dead!
Taking to Major Mitchell.
Be not afraid, Mr. Revere. Speak the truth of your mission tonight, and you'll not be harmed.
It's you who should be afraid, Major.
What's waiting for us up ahead?
We know you're after Hancock and Adams and the cannon at Concord.
What's up that road? Speak the truth, or I'll blow your brains out. What's up that road?
It's the bloody Americans!
To horse! Leave him. He's done riding the sea.
It's somewhat hard to believe, but Paul Revere's near miss is a result of a simple common courtesy. In colonial times, proper etiquette dictates that loaded weapons are not allowed in taverns. So, when a group of Lexington Minutemen fire their muskets outside Buckman Tavern, Paul Revere and his famous warning are saved.
The local militia is alerted. The Redcoats march through the night toward Lexington, but standing in their way is Captain John Parker and his militia.
Hold 2. Stand firm.
Throw down your arms and disperse, and you and your men will be spared.
Stand your ground, men.
Disperse, I say! Soldiers, do not fire. Keep your ranks and surround them.
Hold.
There's this tense moment when the Lexington militia and the British regulars are looking at each other across this small space. Both sides at that moment knew that this is now officially spiraling out of control.
To the front! March! Stand by, hold your ground!
Cease fire! Cease fire! Fall back into your ranks! Cease fire! Cease fire!
The shot heard around the world remains a mystery. One theory is that a nervous British officer accidentally fires, setting off the battle. Some believe the officer is Major Edward Mitchell, the same man who interrogates Paul Revere the night before. Whomever fires the shot, in that moment, the fate of North America and the entire world changes forever.
Fall back!
When the shooting starts at Lexington, Hancock and Sam Adams have already slipped out of town. But they can still hear the sounds of the battle.
My God, son. The sacrifices that will be made today. It's true, John. Many families will suffer, but it's a grand day for our country.
News of the conflict shakes the countryside as riders carry word far and wide. All over New England, men and boys grab their muskets and set out to join the fight.
Must you leave so soon, John?
Congress convenes in Philadelphia in just 2 short weeks. And there is much to be done.
Who is coming?
The British armies marched on Concord. I have to see for myself.
When John Adams reaches Lexington, the British have been turned away from Concord empty-handed. Militiamen pour in from the countryside, attacking the Redcoats as they retreat to Boston, burning colonial homes along the way.
The British are marching back to Boston through the same route that they came that day. The Americans are circling the hills and the pasture lands to get ahead of the British. It's a bloody battle all the way back to Boston for both sides.
I rode from Cambridge along the road to Lexington and inquired of the inhabitants of their circumstances. These did not diminish my ardor for the cause. Indeed, they only succeeded in convincing me that the die was cast and that Great Britain had shifted the instruments of warfare from the pen to the sword.
The American Army is a provisional alliance of regional militias, and as the British rally toward Bunker Hill, it's up to the Second Continental Congress to unify the force under a leader all the delegates can agree upon.
The Second Continental Congress is facing a totally different strategic situation. Do we try to transform this army around Boston into something more than just a militia rabble?
The chair recognizes Mr. John Adams, Massachusetts.
Gentlemen, as we convene here in Philadelphia, thousands of loosely affiliated volunteers have surrounded the British Army at Boston. Mr. President, I hereby propose that this Congress adopt this army and appoint as its commander Colonel George Washington of Virginia.
It's during the Second Continental Congress that the America we know begins to take shape. No longer an assembly of independent colonies, all 13 come together to fight a common enemy in the name of liberty. In nominating George Washington, John Adams identifies in one man the courage, sacrifice, and resilience that will define America's identity. But the unanimous selection of a commander-in-chief is a short-lived victory. Before George Washington can even take control of his army, a devastating battle is already underway at Bunker Hill.
Thanks for watching. If you'd like to help us produce more compelling historical content like this, please like, comment below, and share this video with fellow history buffs. And of course, be sure to subscribe to help keep history happening.